What is going on today, NBA fans? It is me, Geek Mode Gaming, bringing you another NBA team preview. Now, myself, I was born in 1989 in Murray, Utah. I was born in Salt Lake City, Utah. So what's up, Utah Jazz fans? Year in review, the Utah Jazz won 43 games. And this is how good the Western Conference is. They missed the NBA playoffs by 2 games. The Los Angeles Lakers, they got in the playoffs, which is really interesting. A lot of people didn't think they'd even make it. The Utah Jazz, unfortunately, got robbed, and they didn't make the NBA playoffs. And that's not the first time that's happened to this Utah Jazz team. Then, continuing on, Al Jefferson, Paul Millsap, a couple other players left the Jazz. The Jazz let them walk because the Jazz had other things in mind, like trading up some NBA draft picks to draft the one and only Trey Burke. Then the Jazz signed Derek Favors to a 4-year deal. And it's really interesting because Ernest Canner came out of the ground, last year. He really shocked some people and really had a good year besides his injury. I was really impressed to see Ernest Canner. I watched a couple Jazz games last year myself, and every time he was on the court, I was very impressed. He could be a really good player, in due time. Just give him time. The guy could be an all-star center. I'm claiming that. Now let's talk about the Utah Jazz roster, and they did make some moves this offseason. Starting off with Andre Biedrins, bringing in Trey Burke, Alec Burks, Ian Clark, Jeremy Evans, the former dunk champion, Derek Favors, Rudy Gobert, Mike Harris, the stud Gordon Hayward, Richard Jefferson, Ernest Canner, John Lucas III, Brandon Rush, Jamal Tinsley, and Marvin Williams. Now, guys, in my opinion, the Utah Jazz have to focus on 4 people. They have to focus on their returning offensive leading scorer, Gordon Hayward. He is the only returning offensive scorer, and he could be their leading scorer. They also have to work and keep healthy Trey Burke. They have to really focus on him and on Alec Burks. Alec Burks had an up-and-down year last year for Utah, so they really have to work on those 2. And then going back to Derek Favors and Ernest Canner. Those 4, when they're developed, when they're fully healthy, and when they're in their prime, the Utah Jazz could easily be a top 3, top 4 NBA team. Because it's hard enough to win in Utah, especially at Utah. Utah is a very physical team. Trey Burke, Gordon Hayward running that offense could be a really nice team. One day, they will be very good. The best and worst case scenario for these Jazz is they have to build from game to game. And unfortunately, guys, the worst case scenario for this team is they're going to be another lottery bound team. They're going to lose some games and they're probably not going to make the playoffs. I hate to say that because I grew up in Utah and I like Utah, but guys, that's the best and worst case scenarios. They'll build from game to game, they'll win a few games, but I don't see this team in the NBA playoffs this year. Guys, thank you so much for watching my NBA team preview for the Utah Jazz. I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks for watching, guys.